You may very well already know my next guest, though, because not only did he grow up by the beach, he also grew up on our TV screens as well, becoming a household name after making his debut as a 16-year-old trainee lifeguard on the TV series Bondi Rescue.
Take me back to the sweet times, the hot nights.
Trent Maxie Maxwell was on that show for 14 years, which aired in more than 100 countries. He left the series in 2016 to fulfill another dream, to become a firefighter. Now back teaching kids about vital surf, water and fire safety, rescue and life skills. He's touring regional Victoria this week. At the same time, he's embarked on another venture too. He's writing children's books, the series called Maxie's Beach Rescue. He writes with his partner Lee Mason. It's clear Maxie's a passionate advocate for water safety, and with good reason. This past summer was one of the deadliest on record, with 49 coastal drownings occurring between the 1st of December and the end of February, including 7 in Victoria in just 10 days in January. Well, a little earlier, I caught up with Maxie to talk about his career on TV as a fiery now in real life, and as an author as well at the same time, but equally as a now casual surf lifesaver, desperately trying to make sure we never have another summer like that again.
It's tragic. Obviously, any life is a tragedy. The fact that those numbers are staggering, considering it is 2021, people should be given the opportunity to have the awareness and the knowledge. And, we've lived and survived. What I do, I try and get that knowledge out there to be able to educate kids and adults about swimming, not only in coastal areas, but also swimming in inland as well, because a lot of people don't realise more people drown in inland Australia than they do on the coastal areas. So even though I've been a lifeguard for 16 years and I've been a full-time firefighter for the last... I've been a lifeguard for 16 years and I've been a firey for the last 6, I know how important it is, because I see these tragedies on a day-to-day basis and hear about them as well. So just want to get the awareness out there, and, I'm lucky this week I'm in country Victoria talking all stats and trying to get the awareness out.
And I certainly want to get to your visit in a moment, Trent. You're doing some great things. We have had the opportunity to, in a sense, watch you grow up on our TV screens
much,
on Bondi Rescue. You did that for a few years, but as you've mentioned, you've now moved on to being a firey, but clearly sort of water safety is still a major passion of yours.
Yeah, it is. So I'm still currently employed as a lifeguard. I'm just only casual these days, but been there for 16 years. I'm also been a firefighter for the last 5.5 years for Fire and Rescue New South Wales. So I work at the busiest beach in Australia, and I work at the busiest fire station in the city of Sydney there. And on my days off, I do my company stuff, which is Live, Learn, Survive. And I go around Australia and around the UK and now America, educating water and fire safety. And also tagging along that, I have just released my 4th book, which is a picture book for kids to get the water safety out there as well. I'm
not sure how you found time for the book, but I love the sound of it. So this is for kids. It's called, as you say, Maxie the Lifeguard. A bit of an autobiographical kids book there.
Yeah. So the first 3 is Maxie the Lifeguard, which is probably for 7 to 13-year-olds, and it's loosely based on my childhood. It is a fictional story set in Bondi, but there is a little bit of truth to it from my upbringing as being a nipper. But my 4th one that I just released 2 weeks ago, Maxie's Beach Rescue, is a picture book, and that's from 0 to 5 or 6. So it kind of introduces the younger kids into the first 3 that I did. And the first theme is Maxie's Beach Rescue, which Maxie gets a brand new footy from his parents, and he goes down the beach and they kick the footy around and the ball ends up in the rip, and then Maxie finds himself in the rip, and you need to read the story to know what happens. But the education of not rushing into things, even though they were near the flags, he still can get caught in a rip, and just education that way. And then also I'm just working on my 5th book, which is Maxie's River Rescue, and we're going to try and cater for the inland drownings as well. So we've got a whole timeline of things that we want to get out there, and the awareness, and we want to start the grassroots, which is the children. And if they can get educated at an early age, then as they grow up, they could be able to hand it down. So basically, I just want to have a legacy of being a lifeguard and a firey to be able to pass down, and for them to understand and to stop these drownings and these other tragic circumstances people might find themselves in, basically I just want people to learn life skills to not only look after themselves but look after others as well.
To call you prolific is probably not really doing you justice. The Surf Lifesaving Foundation is blacking out its website every second day this month after a shocking report showed that a drowning happens on average every second day on Australian beaches over summer. Why do you think it is that after all of this time, not only is it still as bad as ever, but we've seemingly never improved as a country, yet we love the beach, Maxie.
I know, mate. I think, unfortunately, this summer is on the rise as well because we did have a tragic year with COVID last year. So everyone would want to get to these coastal areas and these rivers and these lakes and get a bit of taste of normality, a bit of normal life again. But unfortunately, having probably 6 months, 8 months, 9 months in lockdown, not being able to go to swim training or be able to learn things in schools, be able to go to your favourite camping spots. And even adding on to that too, people are flocking, even these Easter holidays, people are flocking to these areas. And then the beaches are packed, the caravan parks, the hotels, the motels around these coastal areas. So people are going elsewhere where there is no red and yellow flags and where there is no people around, and they find themselves in these situations where, unfortunately, are drowning because they don't understand the area. I think understanding the water environment you're in, doesn't matter if it's in the surf, in the rivers or in the lakes, you need to know your surroundings. And with Live, Learn, Survive, my company, when I go to these schools and these libraries and these places, I try and educate people. You can be the world's best swimmer or understand it, but you do sometimes get caught out. And, it's just getting the awareness out there for them to identify the risks and hazards they might come across in these coastal areas. It's
tempting to talk about fatalities and issues in the water centering around kids and young people, but also, Maxie, these are adults as well as part of these awful stats of such a tragic summer.
It's horrible. It's horrible. And, a lot of the time, you do hear not just one person passing away, but you hear 2, 3, 4 in the one area. And that's because a lot of people don't stop and assess the situation. They see someone, maybe their loved one or someone they know relatively well, or it could be a stranger, getting stuck in a situation in a rip or in a river or any sort of body of water. And they're not assessing the situation. They're just jumping straight in and not knowing, and then becoming a statistic as well. So with coming all the way back to the Maxie's Beach Rescue, the book that I've just released, it teaches the parent or the carer that's reading to the child that to stop and assess, even though Maxie's stuck in a rip and his dad wants to go save him. By saving him, he is stop assessing, knowing that there's a rip there, he goes and gets a lifeguard. So it's kind of trying to root into them to understand that, rushing into things is just as dangerous. Yeah, everyone wants to help someone, but sometimes helping and not knowing what's going on, you could be another state yourself. So, unfortunately, hopefully, getting the awareness out there and, with Surf Lifesaving doing their thing with blacking out what you're saying, gets the awareness out there. And I'm in the Gippsland area for the next 2-3 days, talking to country Victorian kids and adults about water safety on the beaches and inland as well. So, you've got to start somewhere, and through Live, Learn, Survive and through the books and through the rescue squad, Maxie's Rescue Squad that I've just created as well, we're going to, one child at a time, we're going to get the education out there.
Trent Maxie Maxwell, my guest, Aussie lifeguard, firefighter, but you would know him from Bondi Rescue fame, and now he's an author, but he's on this speaking tour as well. I just also, while you're here, Maxie, I wanted to play you something. Sue Peacock, producer of the show, is a massive fan of Bondi Rescue. She's plucked out of the archives this moment on Bondi Rescue, as well as obviously a show about safety in the surf, an important subject, of course. There was a lot of time seemingly for pranks and laughter at the same time.
Yeah, exactly right.
And you were pranked by the older lifeguards numerous times, including this one time when you had to tell heavyweight boxing champion Bobby Mirovich to take his surfboard out of the swimming zone.
Round one. Go.
Excuse me, mate. Is that a glass board?
No, surfboard, mate. Not a glass board, surfboard.
Yeah, can you please move further down the beach? That way.
Oh.
Because hitting the flag's not good. Hit someone.
You're joking.
We're in trouble. No, I'm serious.
Hey, how old are you?
16.
You should be home playing bloody backyard cricket or watching cartoons, mate. What's wrong with you?
I'm out here saving lives, mate.
Mate, tell you what, mate. Rack off.
A classic stitch-up, Maxie.
That is one of the best stitch-ups of all time. So I'm glad that people can laugh at my expense. But yeah, that was a terrifying day. But anyone that's not familiar with that, I'm sure there's a few episodes on YouTube you can look up. Just look up Maxie versus Bob Mirovic in the surf, and if you want 5-6 minutes of a laugh, have a watch. It's quite entertaining.
Maxie, you are in Victoria this week for this speaking tour. I know this afternoon you've been at the Gippsland Regional Aquatic Centre, but tomorrow it's at the Morwell Library. Then you're on your way to the Churchill Leisure Centre and then on to Moe. So, busy week for you coming up.
Busy week. And anyone that's listening too, and if you are interested in the books or the rescue squad, make sure you just check out lifeguardmaxi.com.au. All the information's there at the moment because the fifth book is relatively new. We're only doing it through our website. So if you want to get your first in best dress, get the opportunity to get the book. All the books are signed, and get a few postcards and a few bookmarks as a thank you as well. So yeah, if you're listening and you're interested in the books, they will save lives. Check out lifeguardmaxi.com.au.
Maxie, thanks so much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you for having me, mate. And I appreciate giving me the voice to get the awareness out there as well. Hopefully we could save some lives through this winter into next summer.
Trent Maxie Maxwell there, who grew up on our TV screens as part of Bondi Rescue. Now he does so many things, including this regional tour that he's embarked on to promote water safety. You can find out the details. He's heading to Traralgon, Morwell. He's heading to Moe as well. Lifeguardmaxi.com.au for all of the details.